All right. We in here. I was trying to make it work, get to the room on time. I'm still in the process of setting up a little bit, so you know how that go. We are in Wilmington, but I think I'm staying on the hood side of town because it ain't a lot going on over here. Doo-doo-doo. But I got us some food, not us, but I got me some food, and we gonna cook it up. You dig? Cause I am hungry. Somebody, you dig? I don't know. I forgot who, but we jerk chicken bowl, jerk chicken, rice, black beans, peppers, cheese, Bayou burrito. So we're gonna try them both. Bayou burrito is they roll very good with your boy. So now we gotta sit down and hook it up. Oh shoot. I know that was loud. I apologize. Honestly, I need to use the other one because it follows me. Yittity, yittity. Okay, maybe I can turn on chat. I'll let you, boy. Let's see what we got here. Nope, we don't want one. Not bad. The disco light is looking good. Okay. I hit all my goals for the day. Hotel okay. It's a little small where we staying at. The Leela or something like that. I went and bought some snacks and water. Yeah, I wonder if it is charged up. I got this selfie stick thing as well, but it will follow you. Hey, it's on. It just ain't enough light with it. That's the only problem. Is that shit locked? Let me cut it off. Let's see. All right, there you go. Now we working. We gonna see which one we like, family. I never, ever really used I used the selfie stick feature, but I don't never really use the follow me feature, cause I'll be sitting still. You dig? Let's see. We gonna see how it worked today. Alright. Yeah. Okay. I'm tripping, family. I swear I am. Don't mind it though. I paid a little extra for this. No man. That thing's a little wobbly. All right, we in business. Let's see what we got going on here. I'm hungry. No lie. Yeah. So we're gonna try this burrito first. Because I told a little piece in it. It was funny, but I know I've been to Wilmington before. But generally wherever I go, I do a food list where I say restaurants where I want to look. So when I get hungry, I can just go pick something and fuck it up. It's the burrito. I'm hungry. Good. Woo! I don't have any napkins. It's terrible. All right, let's see what it do. I'm just gonna spin all the way around and follow me. Oh, it ain't following me at all. Where you at, bro? Slipping on your pimping? Oh, it followed my face. I stand up and like, I don't know where you at, bro. Hey. Oh well. I'll be back. Y'all be all right. That's a big towel. What did I just do with that towel? Oh, there you go. I'll be wilding out the hotel. And I've always used their towels as napkins every while. Well, let me get that towel. It's gonna be my napkin. Well, that's good. Hope y'all been having a fantastic week. My week has been emotional. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I had to do a little work on myself. I wound up taking a risk. I knew it was a big change, but it didn't work out. I was trying to build something with a friend, and as we had those conversations about time and people seeing it very differently, and time or when time matters and when it doesn't matter. So, and people reserving the right to change their mind. And was wild because when I was having that conversation with you all, I was like, I feel like I'm talking to myself because it's about to be something that I actually have to deal with. And it wound up being something that I actually have to deal with. Friend for 20 years. Made a commitment. And I know commitment and integrity are the words that I'm working on this year. But I got to be careful because I'm working on them. Don't mean everybody else got integrity. All right, we about to fuck up this. I'm over here making a mess. I'm eating like a child. I don't know if I want to mess with this. Oh, shoot. God dang it. Is pineapple habanero sauce? I only like my stuff mildly hot. And so I know a habanero usually is a little hotter than I be wanting it. It smells more pickled than hot. It definitely is a little spicy, but not too bad. Yeah, so that friend. Yeah, they've always kind of been a runner from commitments or places that will wind up challenging them to be better than who they are. They get on them skates and run. So when I was having that conversation with y'all, I kind of knew I was talking to myself, like I was going to have to deal with somebody reserving the right to change their mind. It felt like I was talking to myself. So when it happened, I was like, all right, well, I knew. And because it happened, one thing it allowed me to do is be thankful for the skill sets I do have, bro. I'm telling you, because when I need help, like emotional support or to release some emotions or something like that, I don't got to look for somebody that can help me do it. I can just do it for myself. So it was crazy because earlier in the week, it's poking me in my neck, nothing like that. Earlier in the week, I was doing a training session with somebody. And yeah, it's not sturdy. It moves, it follows me, but sturdy in it. Yeah, how you get it? Get a little wobbly. Wobble. So much you shake it. There's a couple of things, man. It's just layered. So, I looked at my horoscope and it was telling me about somebody in my life that's kind of emotionally draining and not really giving the emotions back. We're going to try it the way it is first before I start adding extra to flavor it up the way I want it. That I was going to have to make some tough decisions this week. And some of those decisions are going to hurt people's feelings, but you was going to have to make it. And I thought it was something else. I thought it was that plan that I was working on with my friend. But it was just telling me that I was going to have to make some tough decisions. I was going to make big decisions. And I had somebody emotionally on my back and they need to get off. And then I had this weird dream, which is crazy because I was dreaming that I was traveling and I wound up getting stopped and arrested because I had some cocaine in my bag. And I don't mess with cocaine. So I didn't know how it got in there. And it was funny. It was in my dream. I'm asking PSA or whoever, like, yo, how did it get in there? And the only thing that I could come up with was, when you're in the airport, they always tell you stay close to your bag because you don't want somebody to put some shit in your bag. So stay close to your bag. So I figured in checking my bag or something like that, somebody got to it and put the cocaine in there, and I got caught and arrested. But I got out, and I wound up seeing a friend. All this in the dream, and they tell me, they was like, "My bad, I'm the one that put the cocaine in your bag." And they was like, "I ain't think you was gonna get caught or arrested or any of those things, so that's why I did it. I ain't think you was gonna get in trouble for it." And I was like, "That's just crazy." Then I remember it was a little dark, and when it got light, I was walking into my childhood home. But while I was walking in that childhood home, I wound up having an argument with some random lady. And I remember because we were walking through the grass, the front yard, and I was like, I'm arguing with this lady. And I don't remember what I was saying to her, but I remember the last thing I said was, that's why you got that ugly ass grass skirt on. And they literally was wearing a skirt made out of the grass that is my childhood home front yard. And I remember going inside the house, and when I went inside, the lady that I was arguing with wound up arguing with some other lady. And it was like two crews. Because now all of a sudden the lady I was arguing with had a bunch of people with them. And the other woman that she started arguing with had a bunch of people with her. And they stand in my front yard arguing and about to fight. And I remember opening up the door and just yelling, "Get out of here with that bull shiggity." And they looked at me. Both of them looked at me and they were sad. And the first woman I was talking to, she started crying. But the second lady that I don't know where she came from, she was like, but. And I was like, I don't even care. I don't even give up. Why y'all out here arguing in front of my mama's house? Just get the hell out of here with that bullshit. And they wound up going their separate ways. And I closed the door. And that was my dream. And I feel like pieces of it had to deal with the disconnect between me and a friend. But then I was doing a training last week. And one of the people in the training had a virtual training. One of them had on closed caption. So, of course, words I'm saying and all that stuff is being transcribed. And, hey, man. Like I was saying, the words I was saying being transcribed. And they tell me every time I say, I believe admin. So we're actually talking about administrative cost rate at 15%, which makes no sense to most people. But if you do know what I'm talking about, it's dealing with federal grants. And basically what it means is you get a grant. Right. You can get $1 million grant. And of that $1 million grant for your program, you cannot spend more than 15% of that total grant to pay for the administration of that grant. So that's the leadership, the administration of the grant. And it's really the leadership, the admin of the grant. They most of the time, that's who falls into that 15%. So I was having a whole conversation about that because I teach fiscal stuff. And like I was saying, one of them had on closed caption. And like closed caption, okay. Closed caption, every time I said admin, it would say Batman. And the person's like, every time you say admin, it says Batman. And I laughed and I was like, well, maybe it's trying to tell me something. Cause I don't, we've moved beyond thinking of life as coincidental. We've learned that coincidences, they're are very few actual coincidences in life. So to the point where I will say, I would take it a step further and be like, there's no such thing as coincidence. It was supposed to happen. So we moved it to the synchronicity of life. So I've done a ton of trainings and done a ton. I've said admin a ton of times, but this is the first time. Every time I say admin, it's a Batman. So because of that synchronicity of life, I was like, well, maybe y'all need to call me Batman. How about that? Joking and stuff. But when I started building with my homeboy, who was a trained healer as well, he brought up that idea of synchronicity. And I looked up the spiritual significance of Batman. And when I looked up the spiritual significance of Batman, two things. Well, one major thing, not really two things, but one major thing that it said was, I'm sorry, I'm fucking this food up. Forgive me. Was to embrace your darkness, right? And that's one of them things that we all struggle a little bit, especially when we want to live in the light. One of the first things we want to do is deny our darkness. And me as a Pisces, I live as 1 foot in the light, 1 foot in the dark. So Batman, I've been struggling with some of the dark side of myself and actually accepting it and seeing it as a strength, right? That was really much the second thing. Say embrace your darkness and then turn that darkness into a strength, right? Give you some sort of code or something like that. So now I got this thing telling me to embrace my darkness. So then out the blue, that's when my friend was like, well, not out of the blue. I had to call them out on some bullshit because they had this idea that being rude and disrespectful is okay. They justified it in their mind for whatever reasons they've done that. And I was like, that's just not okay. And then they hit me with, well, never mind. I don't want to do nothing that we just said we want to do. And I was like, cool. So something else on my horoscope, it told me to sever the connections that I may have made. Like it was literally a vow of poverty, right? And with that vow of poverty, it wasn't limited to financial vow, but a vow of poverty in like one way I applied it in love and looking at love from a deficit framework, from a deficit point of view. That is still somewhat of a vow of poverty, right? You always think that love and relationships won't be enough for whatever reason, right? So it was telling us to make this, one of the things we're going to talk about next after we get through questioning ourselves, assessing our egos, is around declarations over our lives. And one of the declarations was, I vow I sever any vow of poverty from any space, time, and existence so I can move forward, right? So what I understood that to be is about severing negative connections or connections that you have made in places, times that no longer are beneficial to you, right? So I hear it, but I'm not severing the connection yet. Right? I don't know what to say because, like I said, I'm not thinking in a way that I need to sever anything. So my friend, we've fallen out a couple of times, and we usually link back up because the foundation of our friendship is always love. So it's 100% built on love. And for me, the heart is the most magnetic, and love is a solid foundation. Although you need some other things, I definitely think when you mix that foundation, that concrete, you need love and respect. But so, but I've never really took the time to sever the connection, right? And so after that happened, I was emotional, right? I'm sad. I'm frustrated. I have a tendency to be hard on myself because we talked about my attachment, and we figured out our attachments to whatever ego, and we talked about my attachment to the knowledge ego. I find value in knowing, like just knowing the answers, knowing, being able to see outcomes, all types of stuff. I just find value in myself. I find my value within knowing stuff, knowing the answers, being able to know the solutions, all that stuff. So, um, I was kind of tied to this ego of knowing. So when something happens that I knew better or knew would happen, I instantly become hard on myself, right? And I get angry and I get upset. So I took a little, hey, there we go. I took a little, come on here, you in the chat, man, say something so I can talk to you. Talk to me alone in this room. It's just me and you. Afraid of disappointing you. I'm so glad I don't got to work out tomorrow. I'm always thinking about tomorrow anyway. So I'm sad or I'm disappointed. I'm angry. I'm being hard on myself. I'm just a bunch of fucking emotions, just a ton of emotions. And I know I need to release them. So, of course, I do a little Reiki on myself. As a matter of fact, I go as far for a spiritual trip, right? I was ready to trip. And it was funny because I took my little shroom and I ain't tripping nowhere. I literally stayed in my crib. I ain't go nowhere. I ain't astral project no goddamn where. I stayed right in my crib, right? And I was forced to deal with my emotions, right? To get to the core of what I'm dealing with, right? And one of the declarations that I made over my life recently was I don't want to be making too many decisions out of fear, right? So while I'm doing it, I'm just moving around. Can't be still, can't focus, can't do any of the meditative things that I need to do to be able to get to the root and to help release the emotions. So normally I know when that happens, at some point, I'm not going to be able to run anymore. And it was funny because I started getting a little pain in my hamstring on my right leg. I'm like, all right, now, what are you trying to tell me? I could tell I'm running. So what am I running from? I keep asking this question. What am I running from? What am I running from? What am I running from? So after a while, In my sadness of the friendship dissolving, I recognize that I have feelings of shame too, which is crazy because I wound up having to spend a bunch of time separating feelings of shame and being ashamed, right? Because feeling bad when you make mistakes and feeling a little bit of shame is okay. That's the human emotion. We don't want to spiritually bypass any of those things. But what isn't healthy is being ashamed, right? You can feel shame without being ashamed. So I wound up having to declare over my life, like, shame, you ashamed. There is no space for you in my life, right? And the wild thing about it was I recognized there was shame because I was feeling ashamed for being sad about the relationship. And then that also showed me how in many times in my life, I get caught up in this cycle of sadness and shame, sadness and shame, sadness and shame, sadness and shame. This is a vicious cycle of sadness, being sad, and being ashamed that I'm sad. So I really had to, like I said, I had to work to separate feelings of shame, which is okay, from being ashamed. I don't have to be ashamed of any of my choices. I don't need to be ashamed because I love the person who was emotionally unstable, right? They were my people though. You know what I mean? You don't love your people because they're perfect. You love them because they're your people. And that idea, we've been through a lot as friends and all that stuff. So, I was ashamed for doing that. And that's what brought up this idea of shame. And then that's how I started being able to point out the cycle of sadness and shame. And what the wildest thing kind of solidified that I definitely had lived in that cycle a bunch. And it was around oatmeal, right? So when I was a kid, like, listen, oatmeal has such a nostalgic feeling for me. It was one of my favorite breakfasts growing up. Uh, that strawberries and cream, I get strawberries and cream and peaches and cream, mix it together and have a great breakfast. If I had plain oatmeal, I could throw raisins in it. And it was funny because my brother was a cream of wheat dude. And I was laughing. I was like, I could never make cream of wheat taste good. It always tastes gritty. Even if I put raisins or fruit in there, it just wound up tasting like gritty fruit. My brother loved cream of wheat, and I was an oatmeal dude. And I'm so sad. I had to admit it because being sad about it's okay. I had to create a space where I could grieve some of the things that I'm letting go of as I evolve, right? I know I like the big ones that, you grieve your old self. Like, I'm not going to be that person anymore. And I love that guy. I had a good life with that dude. You know what I mean? Wilding out, doing things that were stressful and calling them fun, like going to dangerous clubs and parties, right? We're calling that fun. But that ain't fun. That's dangerous and it's stressful because instead of having a good time, I got to make sure I come out that alive. So I'm in here mad about oatmeal because I can't eat oatmeal no more. Not because oatmeal's not good for you, but because it's not good for me. It does not. My body does not mess with oatmeal at all anymore. So I was sad about that. And I was able to identify that so I can separate my sadness with oatmeal from being ashamed that I still want to eat oatmeal, that I no longer have it in my life. I'm being ashamed about that. And then I just went in that cycle doing a couple of things. Just being able to identify a couple of things that I am sad about. And that sadness is creating a level of shame. Like even my new diet, even though I love the new diet in the sense that it makes me healthier, I'm functioning better. It's just a better diet for myself, period. Even though I enjoy it, I still gotta grieve some of who I was. Thursday, we might go on the beach. I had this show. I just got to the hotel. There's some time to do this. I still got other stuff I need to do to get prepared for the next day. Co-workers calling me. I'm not returning calls. I'm chilling. Today, it's a new day. I'm chilling. So after I recognized that my shame was going beyond shame and into feelings of shame, I took a little time and honor my feelings of shame and being able to sit in there and just sit with my feelings of shame and making sure that they do not lead me to a path of feeling ashamed of my decisions or my actions or my thoughts. Like, because you if I said something and the person don't want to talk to me anymore because of what I said, it's this tendency where sometimes you be like, well, man, I shouldn't have said that. Now I'm feeling ashamed that I said that and ashamed that I said that or anything, but I shouldn't be ashamed. I shouldn't be ashamed for speaking my truth. I can be sad. I can feel a little shame, but I do not need to be ashamed for speaking the truth because they could not handle it. Right. So what I did after I dealt with my feelings of shame, I made some vows to separate myself from that person, that situation, that all that stuff for in any time, place, or existence that I've ever been a part of. I severed that and I went on a block spree. I blocked everybody that we had in connection. Block, block, blah, 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 blah. And only one person that I actually did say something to and explain to them what it was. Because when I met them, I could tell that although they don't fully see it, I can see it, that they are a blessed person and one of the chosen ones. And you always got to be careful about how you handle the chosen ones, right? I'd say it all the time as a joke, man, mess around and make footstools of my enemies, right? So I don't want to create no enemy from a chosen one. And then I wind up being a footstool. I wind up telling them, you know what I mean? I told them what I was doing. I ain't tell them why, because that's not, you know what I mean? That's neither here nor there. I was like, yo, I'm sorry, I can't be able to assist you, but I'm trying to make sure I sever myself from this place, time, and person. And I would never want to be the type of person to put you in a space where you have to choose between your friend and my help. So, oh God, excuse me. So I did that. And that was kind of huge for me, really, to be able to sever a connection and to go that far. So, and the other thing that was ironic, and we wound up talking about it in the men's group on Monday, and because one of the brothers wound up having a situation over the weekend, one that he felt he could have handled it better. And handled it better is debatable. I think he handled it as best as he could. It wasn't no good situation. You feel me? You know what I mean? It wasn't a good situation, but I felt like the brother handled it better than he could. I mean, as best as he could. And the one time that I was got any close to what he was dealing with, I was ready to murk. That's how I know my dark side as well. Because I was ready to start murking. Now, I'm gonna murk this person. I'm gonna murk this person. I'm gonna murk this person. So much so, I was like, I need to move. I need to get away from these people before I actually do it. So, but anyway, after the brother told us our story, his situation, one of the other brothers wound up offering. I'm like, you gotta remember, bro, you could have did better, but you didn't fail the test, right? And I was like, dang, that's where that perfectionism show up. Even when I don't fail life tests, I'll be focused on the two answers that I didn't get right, or I could have got right, or I could have did better, instead of recognizing that I still made a B on the test, bro. That was a great test you did. You still got a B, bro. A B is a good grade. Like, that's a good grade. My homeboy, and I said that specifically, he's like, because you ain't even making a C on that test. You know what I mean? So it's just A's and B's. That's all we getting. So give yourself some grace. So I had to give myself a little bit of grace, because even though I probably could have handled the test a little bit differently, I recognize that I'm not failing the test. And one of the things that came out of that was it gives us an option to be able to see how much we have grown as individuals in becoming new versions of ourselves, or new types of men, or whatever we want to say. Because although I was hurt, and I've been in situations like that before, where I make a plan with somebody and the plan don't come, I'd be tore up for a long time. I'd be emotionally trapped. I remember when me and my ex broke up. It was 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago. I was tore up. But most of them got nerve. I say it was 3 years ago. And last 6 months, I've probably been the best version of myself outside of that. But when it came to separating that friend, I was sad for sure. I cried. I did whatever I needed to do. But once I did that, it's finite. It's over. I'm not sad. I'm not emotional. I still think about it. But when thinking about it, I don't get sad. I don't get emotional. I don't get ashamed. I don't feel shame. I feel confident in my decisions. And a part of that, with that commitment, the word that I'm working on, I made a commitment to myself, and it's okay. And do I know that and my homeboy said something else too that kind of just resonates with me. He was like, bro, you are not a liability to anyone or any situation. You are asset. You are asset to anybody that winds up interacting with you, or building with you, or whatever the case, right? And that's the truth. I've designed myself to necessarily be an asset, right? So you interact with me, I'm bringing shit to the table because I'm an asset. That's why I'm not even opposed to that asking that question. What do you bring to the table? Assets or liabilities? Are you bringing assets to the table, or are you liability? And the funny thing about it, the friend was more of a liability, right? And it was crazy because in judging that situation, and then on Monday as well, the brothers asked us a question: what are, and I asked you that too, what are some emotions that you think have been guiding your life and making a lot of decisions for you? And one, I said shame, right? Because I recognize the thing that, like I said, I didn't want to make my decisions based on fears. But the thing that was motivating my fears was shame, which I didn't know. I thought my fears motivated by fears, but no, it was shame that was motivating my fears and making me make a lot of decisions, right? And then um, I had to say that fear was the other one that's motivated my decision, but a very specific fear. Because if you know me, you would think I ain't scared of nothing. Right? Because I really ain't scared of that many things. So for me to say that fear is motivating a lot of my decisions, you like, okay, so how is that if you're not really afraid of things? It was a very specific fear. And we talk about it. What is it? FOMO? Fear of missing out. Listen, since I was a kid, I've always had that fear of missing out because I missed out on some things. And once I missed out on it, I was like, I'm not going to miss out on that again. One of the reasons that I have a variety of clothes, from suits to camouflage. Like today, I got on camouflage shirts. Tomorrow, I'm going to be wearing a suit. Right? One of the reasons I did that was because of a fear of missing out. I didn't want to be one of those people that when everybody's time to dress up and go to something that you got to be classy for, whatever that means, you don't have the appropriate attire. I ain't want to miss out on something that might be beneficial for my soul because I ain't had the appropriate attire. Or one of the reasons I could play almost any game. I'm talking about card games, sport games, anything like baseball, basketball, football, wrestling. I told you wrestling was my favorite. Video games, board games. I still think I'm the tic-tac-toe king, man. Color card games. Oh man, from spades and Uno and Phase 10 and all type of gin, all types of card games. Because I ain't want to be sitting in no place where people bust out and start doing it, and I can't do it. So I had a huge fear of missing out. That has only evolved and grown since then, right? So now as an adult man, one of the things that would make it that be motivating my fear of missing out is around family and relationships, right? Because in my plan, which is funny, because they always say, you want to see God laugh, you tell him your plan. So in my plans, I'd have been married by now, had a family, all these things in place. That's what we doing. We going all these things in place by now. So them not being in place kind of bothers me, right? And I'm getting older. So as I get older, and that's a real goal that I haven't accomplished for myself yet, that fear begins to fester and grow. That fear of missing out on that opportunity, which was crazy because, like I said, recognizing the fear that I have now, that fear of missing out now, it allowed me to work backwards and see that that fear of missing out has guided a lot of my decisions, good, bad, or indifferent. So that wound up being a huge breakthrough for myself between that shame and that fear of missing out, controlling a lot of my decisions. So I'm curious, family, what is something, or what is a fear, or what is an emotion, not a fear, that you think has guided a lot of your decisions as well in your life? I'm sorry. That was good. Could have been better, but it was good. Okay. Could have been better. They could have got a little heavier. You know, in our world, we season till the ancestors say stop. So a lot of foods that we cook be heavily seasoned. And I don't mean salty, but heavily seasoned because they actually got the perfect amount of salt in there. But they need to be a little more heavy handed. Like I said, but it's good. Again, family, what is something that is an emotion that's been motivating you and making a lot of decisions for you. Um, I know for myself, it's good to recognize it so you can stop sending these mixed signals to the universe. I told you, as much as I want family, whatever that means, I'll be sending mixed signals to the universe because I can't attract and then be talking about how I'm afraid that it won't happen. You know what I mean? To be able to get the abundance, you got to be thankful for the abundance in your life. So as for me to be able to get the family that I want, I got to be thankful for the family that I do have in my life right now, right? And don't fear that I'll miss out because we are always provided for. Bird in the sky, like my homeboy said, birds don't be flying around worrying about worms. They know them worms gonna show up, right? So I know I'm blessed and covered. So my dreams, I have not really had a dream that I have not brought to fruition except that one, right? And then funny, because when I was looking up and listening at my horoscope, which helped me see something very important. It was telling me that I've been chasing after something. And you know what happens when you chase after it? You chase after it, it runs in the opposite direction. And that's one of the reasons why we can't get it. You're only chasing, if you're chasing it, it's running from you. It is running from you because anything else, you don't got to chase it, right? So, and the first thing that kind of popped in my mind was one, relationships or that specific with my friend. I was chasing after that. And I shouldn't have been. And then the next thing that popped in my mind is how they tell you to chase after your dreams. And now I see how so many people don't achieve their dreams. They chasing it. So their dreams seem like they running from them, running from them. It is all right to follow your dreams, but be careful about chasing anything. It sends the mixed signal to the universe as if you don't already have it in your life. And anything that you want, any dream that you have, it already exists in your life currently in this presence. You just have to be thankful for what is here and plan to shape and reshape that and grow and evolve that to be exactly or everything that you wind up wanting, right? So it wound up being a very emotional weekend, but also very emotionally healing, um, emotionally growing, emotionally challenging, right? So we get all these new tools. We got to be challenged to see if these tools are actually working for us, or are we making the best out of these tools? Are we utilizing them in ways that are true to us and benefit us? And do we really have an understanding of these tools, right? So, like being able to transmute energy. We talk about that. We got the ability to transmute energy. I'm sad. I got the ability to turn that into some other energy outside of sadness. I don't want to say happiness because there are steps to get there. Sadness, you got to get to content before you get to happy. All right, I'm content. Or like I was talking about that, separating that feelings of shame from being ashamed. That is a huge, 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 huge thing. Oh God, excuse me, to be able to do, to separate yourself and being able to do that. So that lets me know that I do have the tools and the power to transmute energy. I transmute feelings of shame back into just feelings of shame And then those feelings of shame get transmuted into a human experience where I can be accepting of it, because we all do that. We all ashamed. We all feel some sort of shame in something that we've done. Like, oh man, I shouldn't have did that. Right? Listen, I'm not at home, Alexa. She's sending me messages. I was thinking about that. So I do got to set up on Friday. She announced me like, hey, it's Friday. Woo, woo, wee, and then celebrate or whatever it does. Man, heating the battery up, family. All right. Yeah, so we've been on here for the hour. I just talked, not 8. So I'm full. I'm ready to crack my toe. Oh no, I still gotta go to Dollar Store. We doing this book exchange at work, so I'm gonna get one of them. What you laughing at? How long you been there? I gave you a shout out earlier. I said you did, so I can start talking to you. And it's funny, man, because I was watching this TikTok. You know, Adrian, I forget his name, Bronner, something like that. But yeah, oh, crack my toes, gotcha. You know, that's how I was his name. But he been streaming with some streamer named. Okay. Well, it might have been messing up, period. So I won't hold it against you. I don't know. You know, it always be a little wild when I'm using the mobile app. But he was talking about how he has 1 million followers or something, but when he streamed live, he only get like 1,500 views. And the people in the that were commenting were talking about how the problem is he don't really be talking to the chat. he just be walking around doing stuff, but he don't be talking to the chat. And that made me think immediately about you, because you was like that last show I was out of town. Oh, third, I don't know what it was, whatever it was. Or it might have been third. I wasn't even out of town, I don't think. He was like, boy, it just sounded like me and you was having a whole conversation to ourselves. I was like, definitely. But that made me think about what old boy said. He was like, bro, you got to talk to the chat. So I guess that's what's cracking. So me talking to you in the chat makes it seem like it's legit, right? So I guess we doing the right thing. Even though we still need to send a little bit. I was about to say, so why she be like the devil? I say her name, she show up. I'm like, we done said liberty, 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 and now she show up. Boop, 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 boop. Which is funny. Cause that friend I fell out with, girl, she hated liberty. She did not like liberty. Don't know liberty. Just hated liberty. I know why she hated liberty. Cause liberty liberty wound up being an avatar for what type of friend she wants to be to me, but was not, because she got her own issues. So, oh God, excuse me. Dang, did you see me eat? Yo, I just fucked up. Jamaican rice bowl. I mean, jerk chicken rice bowl. I demolished it. A little. Sorry. No, I mean, you ain't seen the beginning, but I fucked it up. I'm sorry. It was delicious. Like I said, it could have been better, but it was delicious. Now I'm gonna wash it all down. I'm drinking water, but I got me body armor. I do use these. I haven't had the bluebird pomegranate. I hadn't had this flavor. I've been drinking the pink one, whatever it is. I like the light. Of course, it's only 20 calories, 2 grams of sugar, but I've been needing the electrolytes. Gin and coconut water. Gin and coconut water. And then I was wanting to live life on the edge. So I got me a folder, fiber folder, a fiber soda. Don't tell hell what They'll mess around and block my goddamn stream because I showed the company name, but whoop, raspberry sherbet. Okay, that's why I stopped working. My battery was dying. So I was trying to use this I got the okay, so I got both of both of my tripods rolling today, right? So I got the one that you said you never seen going. There we go. It ain't too bad. I got that one going. And then I got it on the selfie stick shit that I be using. But the selfie stick, I can set it up to be a tripod. Well, it ain't even no tripod, it's quad pod. Because it's for our child. Man, listen. This is a small room. So, okay, for example, I've been I guess the last place I stayed was the MC Suite, so they got a whole little living room, so I can sit at the table and eat. Right, I gotta make it just like it remind me of a shotgun crib. I don't know if you've had to have been in one, but you may not call it a shotgun house. But we call it shotgun house is because you can stand in the front door and look at the back door. It just be a straight line. So it's like a narrow alleyway. The beds look big. I hadn't sprayed them down yet. Cause I'll be Lysol. I'll be worried about bugs. And listen, we definitely are on the hooder side of town. It's hotel. So my coworker was like, the hotel isn't on the prettiest side of town, but it's a restaurant. So I was like, oh, bro, they just said we at the hood, and the hotel itself don't look that bad, so it don't look good. You know what I mean? It's fairly new, but man, listen, I already told you we next door to the roadway. Then there's the Baymont across the street. And maybe I'm biased because in Charlotte, the Baymont was on Sugar Creek. Sugar Creek. Girl. We had a couple Baymonts. And all of them is in the hood. So we got all the hotels that people live in, and not just people live in, they probably still rent hourly. You know what I mean? I just need 2 hours. How much is 2 hours? You're like, Jesus Christ. Then when I started looking at the hotel, I was like, okay, Baymont, Roadway. And I wonder what this used to be. Because this is also something weird. So it's a dual hotel. It's some Layla and what's the other one? A True. And you walk down the hallway and get to the True, which is funny because the Layla doesn't have a workout room. But I walk down the hall to the True. I could work out. I like, shoot, even though we on the hood all the time, this ain't no hood hotel. But definitely that is a ghetto idea. Who thought of that? Who thought of that? Oh, I also got, man, I guess I'll show you my snacks, girl. I mean, since it's just me and you talking now. Hey, turn up. My lips feel a little chapped. Do you know? Can you do that? That is a genetic thing. For you to be able to roll your tongue like a taco, somebody in your family, your mama and your daddy got to be able to do it too. That is a genetic trait. So everybody can do it. I guess maybe it's like a belly roll too. I ain't that good with belly roll. So, oh man, I'm ready take my. I just said I was about to crack my toes. I just say that much. I'm ready to take my shoes off. So you got to get you some of these and try them for yourself. These delicious. We will eat a snack. It's not just 90 calories for 21 pieces. 21 pieces, that's damn near half the bag. Just 90 calories, though. That's pretty good. I ain't even, 1 ounce is about 28 pieces. That's a lot. But they are delicious mini rice cakes, I promise you. And then I'm living on the edge right now. And I got me some candy. But at least, well, it was $2. that's what made me do it. It was $2. So I got this Russell Stover sugar-free shit. But I love so 2 pieces. I might be able to eat 2 pieces tonight. Yeah. But I love the little cream filled. So I got me some snacks for now. Got some food. I don't feel like working. I'm about to set up this TV and watch a movie after I get back from the dollar store. I'm getting tape and wrapping paper. And then I am going to take these shoes off. And I will probably be knocked out early. Early now. Oh, God, I said Thursday we might have to do the beach then. Because ain't no need to be this close to the beach, and I don't take the Soul family to the beach. And then we can do some hunting for seashells down by the seashore. Seashells down by the seashore. There we go. Say it fast. I was like, she got the L, she bati di, she, my she bone, she bati. Whoa, she got the L, she bati. I've been singing today too. That's crazy. So, I mean, you missed part of my story. Okay, so now you back. Let me ask you, and since can't nobody see you, it's easier for you to answer. What is an emotion, or what are some emotions that you think have been guiding your decision making? So I don't know if you was here for this. Let me know. So I won't have to say it all again, but I said for me, it was fear. And then when I did my work this weekend, I got to what is motivating my fear. 'Cause I thought my fears were motivating my fear. You feel me? Things that I'm actually afraid of. But shame was motivating my fear. So, and shame, not just shame, but being ashamed. And then, you know what I mean? Like I told you, I had to spend some time separating my feelings of shame from being ashamed. I have nothing to be ashamed. I have nothing to be ashamed about. You know what I mean? I've done a lot in my life, right? It was funny, like even when I went to my homeboy's house the other day, and I was like, yo, I gotta go to Wilmington for work. They was like, nigga, stop saying that. Like, that's a bad. Ain't no need to be ashamed of that, bro. You like, you about to be in Wilmington at the beach for work. So I'm curious, what's the emotion that has been guiding your decisions in life? Sometimes I wonder by the look in your eyes. There's a passion burning deep inside. Hello? Hello? Everybody reporting live from somewhere. Lord have mercy. Oh, God. All right, well, I guess this is none. You have no other emotions guide your decision making. So I'm gonna take that as my crew. Or maybe you typing 10,000. I doubt it, because we online. You is not typing 10,000 words. You you do not open up that much online. For sure, for sure. You don't even open that much in real life. I know you're not about to do it online. Not at all. All right, well, Thursday I don't know, we'll probably be at the beach because I don't head home to Friday. So we definitely can do a show on the beach, out there on the waters. I know my ship is coming in. That jumps. Well, Thursday we'll still be here, so we're just gonna shoot the breeze again. Maybe I'll sit down at a restaurant and get served. I had been talking about Texas Roadhouse, so I might actually go there. I want they blooming under what they call it, the cactus, something else, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And look at that girl. My stress is going away. You see my hair coming back. Listen, I get so stressed, man. I mess around, my hair fall out. Ain't that crazy? What? Hey, we back. Family. Well, it's been our time. Now it's time to say goodbye to all our family. MICKEYMOUSC. Oh God. Anyway, we're gonna wrap this show up. I appreciate you spending a little time on while we are in Wilmington. I look forward to being with you all again on Thursday. Like I said, we might get a little beach in. As long as the weather is good, it's not crazy. We can walk along the sands. I need that salt water to rejuvenate me, re-youthify. I'm gonna make that word up. Re-youthify me. I like that. That's a good made up word. I'm gonna start using it too. For real, re-youthify. Like flex on him, Eugene. Eugene was hitting it. Flex on him, Eugene. Eugene was hitting it. I'm sorry, I'm tripping. Anyway, family, I appreciate you being here as always. I look forward to dealing with you Thursday. If you can't be here Thursday, I hope to see you back next week, Tuesday. We'll be back in the studio. So life will be good. We'll finish working on, well, I don't know if we're going to finish it next Thursday, but we'll finish working on the Ironman masks coming together. And Tuesday, we got some more assessment. I don't know. I think we on the knowledge ego or the doer ego. I feel like it's either knowledge or doer, one of them. We're assessing how we functioning in those things. Again, family, I appreciate you. You could be anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with us. And for that, I am thankful. Even though times got rough, you never turned away. You were right there. And I thank you. When I about had enough, you never turned away. You were right there. And I thank you. That's a Boys and Men song. Anyway, we out here, family. Peace and hair grease. Stop it. It's stopping.